Hey guys, Wayne here. How are y'all doing today? Uh, this week in WoW is something that I might do from time to time. I might do it all the time. I haven't decided yet, but that's what we're gonna do today. This week in WoW. This week was a huge week for World of Warcraft. Huge. You just imagine Donald Trump saying huge.
It's a huge problem.
Anyways, we've got patch 8.3 went live. Can you guys believe it? It finally happened. We finally got some new content. It has been one of the longest content droughts, if not the longest content drought ever for World of Warcraft. And we finally got some new stuff to do. We've got allied races, a new PvP season. We got Wargren and Goblin Heritage armor. We got horrific visions, which is like the Mage Tower from Legion. We got Old God assaults on Titan facilities. Uldum, Veil of the Eternal Blossoms are really messed up right now. Get in game and go check that shit out. We got more AP grinding to do because that's always fun, right, guys? We got some more 10 more levels to grind. Yippee! We got more essences. By the way, they're still not account bound, so good luck on your ults, folks. We've got a legendary cloak that we gotta go pick up and do stuff with. Cloak! Because we've never had a legendary cloak before. It was never given to us by Rathian before. Good news, Titan Forging's gone, guys. Titan Forging is gone. But it has been replaced by an even worse system, Corruption. Yeah, yep. And that's even more RNG than Titan Forging. And, as always, with every patch, there's mounts, pets, toys, a whole bunch of crap for you guys to collect. So this patch went live 3 days ago from the time of this recording. So today's the 17th. Friday went live Tuesday evening. I've got a little bit of playtime in. I'm almost through the story content. I still haven't got my cloak, but I know I'm going to be getting it at some point. I'm having fun. Right now, the stuff you kill in the game, it takes a long time, but that's because we don't have good gear yet from the next raid. So it takes a little bit to kill things. So that kind of sucks, makes it a little bit boring for me anyways. But one of the biggest things I'm excited about, and I still have not yet had a chance to do it, is the new allied races, the Mechanomes and the Vulpira. Guys, these things look awesome. My goal today is to finish story content and get into I want to do the quest line for the Mechanomes. I want them bad boys. I'm actually probably gonna. I don't have any max level gnomes, so my goal. I'm just gonna take one and do one from whatever level they start out at, all the way to 120, and then that's gonna be my gnome. So I don't know what class I want to play though with it. I don't know what class I want to play, but it's gonna be awesome. And if I don't think I'm gonna do Vulpira. I'm not gonna do Vulpira. Uh, I don't have any max level horde characters, surprisingly. So we're like 8 months out from the next expansion, and I'm pretty sure in like 3-4 weeks there's not gonna be anything to do in a while. So I'm gonna have lots of time to do all sorts of stuff, guys. Oh, and I forgot to mention earlier, allied race death knights. If you have an allied race, you can make a death knight. It was as long as you've pre-purchased Shadowlands, the next expansion, you get this feature. So Lightforge Draenei, Kultirans, Vulpira, yeah, the Blood Elf people, right? Yeah, all them. You get all that crap in here too, guys. And also, we have a new raid, Nyalotha, the Waking City. I'm sure everybody has heard Nyalotha. You know, those of you that have been playing for 10 plus years, I'm sure you have heard Nyalotha. Well, everybody thought that it would be a zone in the next expansion, so instead of getting a zone of Nyalotha, we get just a raid, and it's going to be pretty neat. And that opens next Tuesday. So my guild is finally picking up raiding again. We've been taking the last month off. Literally, we took like the last month off. We're gonna do Emerald Palace thing with the Ashara tonight, just to kind of get back into the motions of raiding. It's been a while. And then next Friday, we're gonna take on Nyalotha. And like I said, that opens Tuesday. Normal and Heroic opens Tuesday. And I do believe the following week, Mythic opens, but it's not cross-realm Mythic. I think it's just realm Mythic. And of course, we're going to have the world first race, and everybody's going to be going crazy about that. So, new stuff to do. We have the Enzoth Assaults. Assaults are from patch 8.3, which is the big activity that you're going to be doing most of the time. Basically, Old God Enzoth is trying to take over the key Titan facilities in Oldham and the Vale of Eternal Blossoms. I'm sure it's very lore interconnected. For those of you who don't know, World of Warcraft has lore that is just as confusing as Game of Thrones. So for me personally, it takes a lot to kind of follow what the hell's going on. So like, I get what's going on. I'm just not sure of like the details behind why, other than Zoth is trying to do stuff with the Titan facilities. That's all I know. So yeah, there's assaults, kind of like Legion assaults back from Legion, and I've done a couple of those. They're really, really fun. Really, really fun. Also, next up that we're getting in this patch is the horrific visions, if I can speak it right. They are basically kind of a mix of the Legion Mage Tower and Death of Chromie scenario. It's meant for 1 to 5 players, and basically you are going to be going into an alternate version of Stormwind and Orgrimmar, in which Enzoth has succeeded in revitalizing the Black Empire and corrupting the land. There's a new mechanic in there, which is corruption, which basically slowly drains your sanity while you're fighting through it. And basically, you're probably not going to complete it the first time you go through it. Most likely, I'm almost 100% sure of that. It's meant to be like a building process. So like 1 week you do this, you get a piece of gear at the end, you get better. The next week, so on and so forth. It just keeps getting easier as the content goes on. So I personally have not gotten that far yet, the content to do one. I did not try it on the PTR, but that's going to happen today at some point, I think. And there's going to be grinding, folks. There's going to be grinding. Legendary Cloak. In my introduction, I kind of made fun of this. But I feel like it's bad storytelling on Blizzard's part anyways, in regards to a legendary item we get this expansion. If those of you remember from Mist of Pandaria, our legendary item was a legendary cloak, and then it involved a kind of a long quest line with the character Rathion. Well, Rathion is back, and guess what? He's giving us another legendary cloak. There is a kind of a talent tree system within the cloak that you can pay for using your 8.3 currency. I forget what it's called. Cool, we're getting a legendary cloak again. I just feel like it's terrible storytelling on Blizzard's part. I feel like they could have done better. They're just kind of rehashing old content, if you ask me. And those of you PvPers, Season 4 is starting, and it's launching alongside the new raid. So it's not live yet. It'll be live next reset, which is on Tuesday. Cool. Also, Operation Mechagon Heroic and Mythic Plus difficulties are launching right away. It's in there. It's going to be split into 2 separate raids. You're going to have Mechagon Junkyard, which includes King, Gravamac, Gunker, Trixie, and Naneo, and it ends with the HK Aerial Oppression Unit. Woo! And then the other half is the Mechagon Workshop, which starts with Tussle Tonks, Cujo, Machinist Garden, and then ends with King Mechagon. I was lucky enough to be able to complete it before they split it, and I think it's the most fun in a dungeon I've had since I've started playing. I never got a chance to do Karazhan and Legion before they split it, and it was just one big long raid. But yeah, man, this dungeon was awesome. By far the best one Blizzard's ever done. So Now that they've split it, it'll be easier for you guys to do it, and they have that lower tier heroic difficulty, so get your ass in there and do it because it's fun as hell. So, what everybody's kind of talking about right now is corruption. In Season 4, the loot from Nyalotha raids, Titan invasions, Mythic Plus, PvP, Horrific Visions, will not Warforge or Titanforge. Woohoo! Woo! Praise it on the mountains! Praise it on the mountains! Oh, wait. That Blizzard just kind of snuck in there another little RNG factor to it. We are now getting corrupted gear, folks. Thankfully, Blizzard has confirmed that corrupted items are not a permanent addition to World of Warcraft, and that it is basically for this patch up until 9.0. Items coming from Season 4 content, meaning PvP content, such as older Battle for Azeroth raids, will continue to Titanforge up to level 455, the Season 3 cap, and cannot become corrupted, thank goodness. Corrupted items will have an additional positive effect, similar to Nazjatar's Benthic gear, but will also carry some amount of corrupted stat with them. As a players accumulate corruption, they will be subject to increasingly negative effects. You will be able to mitigate this with corruption resistance, which is gained from various essences throughout the game. And when you finally get Rathion's legendary cloak, that kind of helps removing corruption, which is good because you don't want that corruption. It goes against you pretty well. This system creates a risk/reward style system in which players increase player power without affecting item level, so that the best rewards come from the highest content, but maintains a reason to continue to farm for new and different affixes. However, unlike Titan Forging, you'll have to be careful about equipping too many corrupted items, as a high corruption stat will eventually become debilitating. True. So, like, I have one piece of corrupted gear, and, like, as I take damage, the corrupted stat on there is, if you take damage, there's a possibility that you can become stunned or slowed for 5 seconds. So, as you're fighting NPCs, you're fighting little ding-dongs throughout the entire game, there's a chance that you will become slowed. But the item level was pretty high, and it was a pretty good set of stats. So it's one of those, like I said, risk versus reward. If you do get these corrupted items, you do have a chance to cleanse that corruption off it. For the very low cost of 5 corrupted mementos, you can choose to cleanse corrupted items, removing both the positive affix and the corruption stat, basically restoring it to just a normal item. You just don't get that boost in power, but you also don't have to deal with the corrupted portion of it. They say this cost is cheap, as a minimum of 500 can be earned per Horrific Vision, but you just kind of got to remember that if you cleanse your item, you can't get everything else that was on there back. So once you make that change, it's done forever. Shame on you. One little more tidbit in regards to gear. There is a little trinkety type item sold from Rathion in the heart of Azeroth for 25,000 corrupted mementos, and it grants a socket to any unsocketed piece of gear. Despite the confusing wording, it does not require or remove corruption from items. I got that part from Mowhead. So basically, if you want to add a socket to an item that doesn't have a socket, you go buy this and you can throw a socket on there, which is cool because, you can add crit, haste, strength, whatever you want to add to any piece of gear. Doesn't that sound fun? Guys, and next, I know you're all super stoked for this. You have the Island Expedition Doubloon Vendor. So now, instead of just running islands and randomly getting loot, you can actually take the doubloons you get from running those islands and hone in on those mounts that you want. It's basically just a freaking slot machine. You take your doubloons, You buy a chest, you open the chest, and hopefully you'll have some worthwhile stuff in there. I opened one epic chest yesterday, and I got a bunch of green gear for 175 doubloons, and I only had like 420 something to begin with, so I kind of screwed myself over. Moving on, we will be getting a heroic Dark Shore Warfront. We've had the Arathi Highlands heroic version for a while now. That's kind of how I grinded out the my little alliance token dealies for the mount. However, we are now getting a heroic one, so hopefully we'll be able to grind just that many more of those tokens to put towards that last mount they just added with those alliance tokens or the horde tokens. Woo! In closing, since we were talking about mounts, they have added over 20 new mounts in patch 8.3, 22 battle pets, and toys. Lots of frickin' toys. Those of you who are collectors, I'm sure this is what you want. I don't really collect pets. Recently, I've been kind of picking them up as I can. That's not something I set out specifically to do. However, I like mounts.
I like turtles.
Yeah, there's just so many to get. I have like 200 or 300 mounts, but they just keep adding them, and I just can't. There's just not enough time in the day. I don't know how people have almost all of them. It blows my mind. It blows my mind. Oh, folks, a couple other little things. Goblin and Wargrin heritage armor. It is coming. It is coming. It is coming along with the Mecha Gnomes and Valpyra that we talked about earlier. They are also getting their own heritage armor. We can also transmogrify legendary items. We couldn't do that before, but we can do it now. So, anybody with that Thunder Fury Blessed Blade of the Windseeker, you can transmog into that. Whoopie-dee-doo. There is a new auction house. That's all I know. They revamped it. It's got bugs, and people are pissed. So, stay off it till they fix those bugs. And the last thing that I am going to talk about here, the mighty caravan Brutosaur is becoming extinct. Extinct. Blizzard is throwing a meteor at those dinosaurs. It's gone forever. Not yet. Not until Shadowlands 9.0. But they announced it's going away. So, you need to get your... You need to... I'm so excited. You need to save up 5 million gold to buy this damn thing. And you have like 8 months to do it. Once Shadowlands releases, the only way you'll be able to get it is on the black market auction house. So, guys, thanks for watching. That's my update for patch 8.3. I didn't get into any detail about anything. Just a quick overview. If you haven't been playing WoW, come back to WoW. If you don't play it at all, buy a computer, install it. It's a good time sink. That's all I got. In closing, all hand flailing aside and screaming into the microphone aside, I hope you guys had a great holiday, Christmas, New Year's, Hanukkah, whatever it is you guys celebrate. I hope it was great. Thanks for watching this video. It means a lot to me. Those of you that are new here, don't forget to subscribe, and there's a little bell next to the subscribe button. Click that so you get alerted. And also, if you guys could hit the like button, that tells YouTube that this channel isn't like killing puppies or anything. So it'll kind of help suggest our videos to other World of Warcraft players. With that being said, thank you. I appreciate it. Follow me on Twitch at Wayne DePayne, Twitter and Instagram at Wayne DePayne1, and I'll see you in game. Peace.